Welcome to Everything Life Coaching. I'm John Kim.
And I'm Noelle Cordeaux. We are the founders of Lumia.
And we're super passionate about all things coaching, and we want to share what we've learned from over a decade of coaching and training thousands of life coaches.
Let's dive into the science and magic of coaching.
On today's episode, we're talking about life coaching industry trends. This is part 2 of the 2022 life coaching industry trends. Noelle, good morning.
Hello.
I enjoyed our first series, our first episode of this. And so if you haven't listened to that, go check that out. We ended with joy. So how should we roll this into this episode?
Let's begin with joy.
Yeah.
Joy is a juicy topic. So the last time we chatted about this, the 2022 trends, we took a global approach. What are the major trends sweeping our industry as coaches? And on that note of joy, that people just want more joy in their lives. They want to be well. They want to feel healthy. They want to feel connected. That's what's driving our space.
Yeah.
What do you see out in the world?
Well, I was going to share a personal story about joy, and it's very me.
Okay.
So I bought a pack of the nondescript generic underwear because I was kind of tired of spending, the $40-$50 per underwear, and I realized they're like a 90s Britney Spears low cut jeans, and so they're not bad enough where they make me uncomfortable, but they're not they fit me in a weird way where it's like if I do squats, I'm self-conscious about someone seeing the top of my butt crack. So after a while, I realized, what, life is too short, and I threw them all away, and I bought the ones that actually fit. And I'm sharing this story because even something so simple and mundane as underwear can be a huge contribution to joy.
I am super with you. Life is too short to wear janky underwear.
Yes. And so, it's something that I think also falls under the umbrella of self-care. But these are just real life things, and something I didn't have the ability to give myself, say 10 years ago, but today I do.
Yeah. And, I was gonna end with talking about the niche of men's support, but I think that might actually be a great place to start since we're kind of talking about it. So let me pull back and explain where I'm going here. So when we're really drilling down and looking at, okay, what are the trends that are shaping the life coaching industry in 2022, it comes down to typically underserved niche populations. And it seems really counterintuitive given, the song that I sang, white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalistic society, to say that men are in need of support. But it's true and vital and gorgeous. And I'm so glad that talking about lovely underwear for men is a conversation that's being had. Can you talk about the men's space and what's going on there?
Well, it's not being had in locker rooms, and I think it's something that things like a warm bath or a massage or getting a pedicure or buying underwear that make you feel sexy, those, according to society, are not they're not definitions of a man. They're things that, quote unquote, women do, or that men shouldn't. If you were a real man, it doesn't matter what underwear you wear. And so I think it's important, especially as someone who is interested in men's work, to create conversations and also live in a way where we can expose that, and we can restructure, redefine what a man looks like, for the individual. Yeah. And so for me, that's a personal story. And one of the reasons why I like to share that in quote unquote public is because men don't talk about things like that, like the underwear that doesn't fit right.
When you said if you're a real man, I felt pain with that because
Mm-hmm.
thinking about you, thinking about all of the men in my life who I love, just the idea that there's anything that any one of these precious humans could do that would make them not real
Yeah.
in the eyes
Yeah.
of society was really painful. Um, Toxic masculinity is a term that's tossed around a lot
Mm-hmm.
and in this space and as kind of like the reason for men's work. And I don't like it because it feels punitive to me to
Yeah.
say that, if you're a man and you've experienced this pressure, you are necessarily toxic. I agree that it is a real thing, and I
Mm-hmm.
agree that it is a threat to the physical and mental health of men and boys. But I would like a different way to talk about it. What's your
Yeah, I agree with
perspective?
you. Like the term of it, I don't like the words. You don't like the words, right? I mean, you agree it exists, but can we call it something else?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I was saying like, okay, if you're a real man, or if you're subscribing to this social construction, then you're participating in toxic masculinity. It just feels like, okay, are we going to beat up on the people who need help? Like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
like,
There's
like it seems,
there's a labeling, you're saying.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
labeling to it.
Yeah.
And so all of this to say that this is one of the spaces where coaches are really needed.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing in the coaching space is that men are looking for other men to be their coaches, to be able to have these kinds of delicate conversations in a
Mm-hmm.
safe space. Um, how I've seen it, my husband is working with a male coach right now, and it's an awesome relationship to witness, because there's so much, I think, big brother feel that goes into it that
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
a lot of folks didn't have access to coming through life.
Sure. And then also, living in a fatherless nation, men growing up without positive male role models, or the men that they grew up with came and went like seasons, a lot of single moms and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm having um, a coach that is uh, a mentor, or, some kind of positive male role model in your life can be refreshing, can be powerful, can be needed, can be healing, can be therapeutic to so many men.
Yes. And, if you're listening and you're a man and you're thinking, can I do this? Can I get into this space? The answer is yes. And the time is now. Coaching, helping professions and at large, I think, especially in the space of wellness, have largely been regarded as women's work.
Hmm.
And this piece of it, men offering support for men, is, I believe, an entry point to tip and really begin to, gender neutralize the space.
Yeah, and this episode isn't just about men's work, but we're talking about just one specific niche. Some other
Mhm.
niches are end of life coaching, sexuality coaches. That's big right now. Kink,
Oh
poly,
yeah.
pleasure. Coaches who work exclusively with female executives like Noelle.
Mhm.
What else?
And BIPOC focused
Right.
services. So kind of pulling way out and saying, all right, what's happening here? Individuals want to work with people who understand their unique experiences.
Hmm.
The ballooning of BIPOC focused services is huge. And this is another area similar to men's work where we need a lot of equalizing to take place. Traditionally, folks of color have been really disenfranchised from the whitewashed wellness spaces. And what's happening right now is that BIPOC consumers are saying, we don't want to work with white people. Like, you can't fully understand my experience and you might harm me. And guess what? That's true. And so BIPOC focused practitioners, BIPOC practitioners coming into the space of coaching are meeting a vast and vital need that exists right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if we're kind of drilling down and saying, okay, female executives or sexuality coaches. So in order to be a coach who works with female executives or to work in kink, poly, or pleasure, or to work in, end of life coaching, you don't need to embody those aspects yourself. End of life coaching, you can't, you only get to do that once, but
Right.
like kink, poly, feminine experience in corporate spaces, those are all niche areas that you can specialize in.
Right. Yeah.
Another one.
There's so many niches, and also the more specific, I think, the more potent. So, for example, I went through a divorce, and um, I think I would rather hire a divorce recovery coach than just a quote unquote a therapist.
Yes.
You know?
Divorce recovery coaching is its whole deal because it's a whole different ball game
Yeah.
than processing your feelings and emotions. Like there are a lot of logistics that you have to deal with when you're getting divorced, and not just the divorce itself. It's like, okay, so now you're divorced, those papers are signed, and
Mhm.
you're going to pick your head up and say, well, how the hell do I make friends? How do I date? Do I want to stay living where I live? Do I need to move to a new house? And divorce recovery coaches help with all of those logistics. That's not what therapists do.
Right.
Yeah. Another really cool trend that I'm seeing is around cultivating creativity.
Mm.
And this is a space where folks who are artists can really get into the coaching game because humans have been so disconnected from their joy, from their creativity, that a lot of people want to play with it, but they
Yeah.
have imposter syndrome. Like, if I'm not good at art, I can't paint, right? And so the creativity coaching niche is really based on folks giving others confidence to play.
Yeah, and just kind of going back to the word joy and how we started this episode, creating and playing in your sandbox, cultivating creativity that produces joy.
It does.
Hmm.
It does. And then kind of similarly, renewal through nature is huge right now. You've
Yeah.
been in the retreat event space. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I'm seeing van life. I'm seeing people becoming nomadic. I'm seeing, I mean, this is why, Airbnb is so popular, is people going into nature, or, on experiences rather than, purchasing things. So travel, for me, dirt bikes, hiking, stuff like that is all, they're not extra anymore. They're not, the electives in college, it's the main course. It's threaded into your life. It's protein.
Yes. And for those folks who want to work outdoors, who want to be out in nature, if that's in your DNA, then this is a really awesome space to move into. Something that I saw as a big trend was the idea of the regenerative farm.
Mm,
And okay, so I love it, and it's problematic, right? So regenerative farm experiences are being offered at high-end spas.
mm.
What do you think about that?
I don't even know what that looks like.
What it looks like is a high-end spa has all this beautiful property, and they've put a farm on it. And as part of the offering, folks who are able to afford going to stay at these places can go out and like farm for the day.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's see, that's not what I imagine when I think of spa resort.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
weird. It's
yeah.
weird. And I'm like, like I think what would be even more impactful is sending people to stand shoulder to shoulder with the folks who are doing the actual hard labor on the farms of America and South America and Central America, and to have like that lived experience in service
Mm,
to others. But hey, we can at least appreciate that people are getting interested in where food is sourced from and how it comes out of the ground. So I'll take it, right?
And all of these things, the renewal through nature, they're all mindfulness experiences. They're all things that
Yes.
require senses and anchoring and being present, which is a huge tool just with life, getting out of your head.
You said the magic word, mindfulness. Like
Hmm.
that's the next trend to that is coming up. Meditation. There are so many partnerships available for coaches in the space of mindfulness. It's a buzzword
Hmm.
and it's a really big arena. Have you messed around with that at all in your work?
Uh, I'm trying to practice that more in my life, especially with my daughter. But I have not coached or teached or taught mindfulness classes. I'm focusing on being a student of it more than running groups about it.
Yeah. So okay. So what do folks need to know with mindfulness? They need to know that it's a multi-billion dollar industry, and they need to know that on the coaching front, a lot of it is taking places in apps right now, apps
Hmm.
and
Right.
studios.
Right.
It's becoming very technology based. Um, and then finally, our last trend is finances, which
Yeah,
is
that's a big one.
something it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. And when I started out in the space of coaching a million years ago, this was not on my radar.
Well, no one teaches us it in school. No one teaches us finances and all of, and so with things like the pandemic, soaring, home prices, gas prices, a lot of people don't know what to do.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Folks don't know what to do with finances. And so if this is an area as a coach that you have skill in and can genuinely coach folks to understand their financial ecosystem, their financial world based on their own unique goals. And I think another important point to understand about financial coaching right now is that folks are looking for alternative ideas. Like folks are looking for BIPOC
Hmm.
specialized financial coaches. People are looking for, whole life perspective versus like the mini mansion and 3 car deal. What do you see in this space?
Yeah, I mean, what about also with crypto and digital currency and how all of that is changing and how people don't understand and we need to be educated and to be on top of it. So yeah, I'm 40, I'm almost 49, and I need a lot of help with finances and how to invest and create security for my family and all that. I know I've learned nothing, and so yeah, this is I think a huge market. I think it's only going to grow, and if you already have knowledge with this. Then you're going to have the advantage when you're helping other people coach their finances.
John gifted me a beautiful reading for my birthday one year, and I actually got a message for him, which was keep him authentic and get him a financial advisor.
That's right. I have one now.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
am so glad.
Yeah. I think everyone should have one, and a financial coach can be that financial advisor for you for sure.
100%. Well, thanks so much for tuning in today, everyone. I think we covered some great topics, and I'm excited for the year to come. I'm excited for the field of coaching. We have so much good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's growing, it's evolving, and there is no ceiling. Every time Noelle and I talk about this, there's always something new and different. So if you're interested in coaching, check us out at Lumia and tune in for our continuing dialogue. Thanks for listening to Everything Life Coaching. If you're feeling the draw to become a coach, head to lumiacoaching.com/everything. Explore a new career that brings fulfillment, gives you a true sense of purpose, and a bold community to do it with.
Lumia is ready to equip you with the tools, training, and community you will need to reach your goals. If you're ready to build a unique coaching business on your own terms while making an impact on the world at large, Lumia is the next bold step in your coaching journey. That's lumiacoaching.com/everything.
And hey, if you're waiting for a sign, This is it.